So Marvel Rivals has officially released the best and worst heroes for Marvel Rivals, not based on anyone's opinion, but based on data itself. That means we'll see win rates, play rates, average KDA, etc. All this information is available on rivals.codex.gg, and it's been confirmed by a known data miner that this data is being pulled from the client. So instead of bickering and going left and right to say that Hela is the best, or Jeff the Landshark is the best, or Wolverine is F tier, we get official stats to back it up and see who are the weakest heroes in Marvel Rivals or the strongest. So first up, we're going to be doing the tier list for normal games and quick match. This could be considered like bronze, to be honest, as it's mostly casual players and for fun players, as well as probably bronze players who just want to get better at the game. We'll be playing quick match. And first up is actually going to be Black Widow. She has seen 13% of matches with a 1.4% pick rate and a 48% win rate with an average KD of 3.04. This makes her the worst hero in quick match with the worst win rate in the game, and it's most likely due to her damage output. It's very low, as well as being a very immobile hero prone to getting dove, and her headshots not actually one-tapping people. But maybe all she needs is a damage buff, some number changes, and she'll be good. But right now, currently, she's the worst Marvel hero in Marvel Rivals. Funny enough, Jeff the Landshark is the second most worst hero in Marvel Rivals, but unironically, the most popular hero with a 55% scene rate, a pick rate of 6.6%, and a win rate of 48% with an average KDA of 4.46. I believe that Jeff the Landshark has a lot of noobs playing it, unironically, as no one knows who this character is, but it's kind of like a cute mascot hero that doesn't make sense in a Marvel universe, but he's there, so people pick him because he's cute and funny. So I have a feeling that a lot of noobs will play him just because of that, as well as seeing clips where people one-shot the enemy with his ultimate and drag them off the cliff. But also, he is not the best healer in the game. There are other more insane healers in this game, so we'll see the high tier healers later. Next up is going to be Storm with an 8% scene rate, a 0.8% pick rate, a 49% win rate, and a 6.44 KDA. What this means apparently is people who play Storm are probably Storm mains, and they can't even get a good win rate on her, which means that she actually just is a very bad stat champion and is definitely in need of some buffs. Also, it is true that people are saying Storm is a really bad champion, and that pertains true to her win rate. And I guess the concept is, why play Storm when you can just play Iron Man? Next up is going to be Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, a 22% scene rate, 2.4% pick rate, a 50.6% win rate, and an average KDA of 3.58. Now, Doctor Strange is actually considered a very high top tier pick at the higher levels, but this is quick match. These are casual players. We'll get into the rank section later. I'm guessing that people don't really utilize Doctor Strange the best, but he is actually a very simple champion, and definitely new players aren't utilizing his portal as good as it should be. So this is a very interesting stat to see, being the fourth worst hero in quick play. Next up is going to be Squirrel Girl at an 18% scene rate, 1.9% pick rate, a 50.7% win rate, and a 3.97 KDA. This one is very interesting to me, as Squirrel Girl is kind of like Junkrat. She has a high DPS and is very noob friendly, but for some reason her win rate is actually pretty low. She's also just a spammer, so like I said, very noob friendly. I'm not really sure why her win rate is really low. Maybe you guys can comment below why this is, but maybe she'll have a higher win rate in the rank section later. Next up is going to be Punisher with a 34% scene rate, a 3.7% pick rate, and a 51% win rate with a 3.37 average KDA. Me myself, I did believe he was a little weak, but he actually has a lot of tools if you think about it. He's got a shotgun, an assault rifle, a zipline, a smoke grenade launcher, which is good for kiting, as well as a turret, but apparently he's not so great in the hands of quick match players, as he has a hit scan hero. So yeah, it's interesting. Some players actually like him, but I didn't know when I first started playing, I didn't like him. He didn't feel as strong as Soldier 76, so yeah. Next up is going to be Magneto with a 20% scene rate, a 2.1% pick rate, a 51% win rate, and a 3.97 KDA. Magneto is actually known as one of the best high elo tanks, but here in quick play, maybe people are confused about playing him. Like, it takes a few games to actually figure out what he does and how to play him, as I did get mixed up with his E and F, putting shields on my teammates versus myself. I also didn't understand how his ring system worked or how his barrier shield worked until after a few games, so maybe it's just people who want to try him and learn him. By the way, just for reference, the highest win rate in this game is going to be 59.4%, and the lowest is 48.1%. So anything below 53.5% win rate is considered below 5 out of 10, and anything above 53% rate is above 5 out of 10. And like all the S tier champs would be considered 59% win rate. And probably anything below 50% is considered F tier. But Winter Soldier comes in at 29% scene rate, 3.2% play rate, and 51.3% win rate with an average KDA of 4.25. This puts him as the 8th worst hero in Marvel Rivals. Coming after Winter Soldier is going to be Moon Knight with a 35% scene rate, 3.9% pick rate, and a 52% win rate with a 3.26 KDA. Now this is interesting. Spider-Man with a 30% scene rate, 3.2% play rate, 52% win rate, and a 2.87 KDA, which is expected. This is interesting for Quick Play, as Quick Play is supposed to be known for noobs, but it actually isn't, because Spider-Man is technically a very hard hero to play, or he's just OP and you don't have to be that good at him. But this maybe means that Quick Play isn't all bronze or noobs. There's some actually good players there, or a lot of good players. Next is Groot with a 21% scene rate, 2.2% pick rate, 52.3% win rate, and a 4.11 KDA. Namor comes in with a 12% scene rate, 1.2% pick rate, 52.4% win rate, and a 5 KDA. Next up is Cloak and Dagger at a 52.6% win rate, 49% scene rate, 5.6% pick rate, and a 7.53 KDA. Next up is Loki, 27% scene rate, 2.9% pick rate, 53% win rate, and 6.24 KDA. He's actually the middle of the win rates, so he's technically 5 out of 10. Crazy enough, who's better than Loki and actually above the middle of the pack? It's Wolverine, coming at a 13% scene rate, 1.4% play rate, 52.9% win rate, and a 2.37% KDA. So it seems like Wolverine is actually the most balanced champion at the moment. He does not need a rework, he does not need any buffs, he is perfectly fine, at least according to the statistics of Marvel Rivals. Next up is going to be Black Panther at a 14% scene rate, 1.5% play rate, 53% win rate, and a 2.69 KDA. After that is Hawkeye. This is a very high elo band champion after Hela, but he has not the highest win rate. He has a above average win rate with a 30% scene rate, 3.2% pick rate, and a 3.88 KDA. And next up is going to be Iron Man with a 53.4% win rate. Look, to be honest, I should not have done play rate or like scene rate, so I'll just be seeing the win rate of these champions. And yeah, Iron Man is kind of like Pharah, has a fairly high DPS and counters a lot of divers or melee champions as well. Scarlet Witch comes after Iron Man with a 53.5% win rate. There actually is a Scarlet Witch main in One Above All who does play Scarlet Witch and plays her quite a lot, so I'm not surprised to see her here. We finally see S tier Luna Snow. At least a lot of players are saying that she's S tier, but she only has a 53.5% win rate. Psylocke comes right after her with a 53.5% win rate. Star-Lord comes in to beat Psylocke, as I'm guessing his DPS is pretty high as well. Here Venom does come in with a 54% win rate, beating Doctor Strange and Magneto. Hulk, the pure melee champion, comes in at 54.9% win rate, which I always thought was a bad hero just because he's pure melee, but I guess he does a lot of damage as a tank. Captain America, known as a D tier champion, coming in with a 55.3% win rate. That's crazy. And Rocket Raccoon coming right after with a 55.6% win rate, beating Luna Snow. Again, this is quick match, but we'll have to see the rank later. And then after Rocket Raccoon is Magic, coming in with a 56% win rate, being a very high A tier, B tier champion. After Magic is Thor, a very high tank DPS, probably the highest DPS tank in the game. And Iron Fist coming at 56.4%, known as the Noob Stomper. Noobs don't know how to deal with the Iron Fist. And crazy enough, Penny Parker was actually really kind of low tier on some tier lists, but she's very high here. A tier apparently with a 56.4% win rate. And then finally we have Hela at 56.7% win rate. No surprise here, permabanned in higher elos, just because of her hit scan ability and DPS output. But Adam Warlock actually does beat Hela with a 57.5% win rate. That's crazy. I didn't know this hero was actually OP. And no surprise here, Mantis is the highest win rate champion with a 58.9% win rate, 40% scene rate, and a 4.5% play rate, and 7.88 KDA. No surprise here, overall the quick match tier list does look something like this, where Black Widow is the worst champion in the game while Mantis is the best. Now, we're going to do the rank portion, the one that everyone's waiting for. First, the worst champion is going to be Jeff the Landshark with a 48% win rate. That's very abysmal, so apparently, if you see Jeff the Landshark on your team, you should just dodge or get the hell out of there somehow. Next up is Cloak and Dagger at a 49.8% win rate, and this is really interesting because a lot of high tier players are saying she's actually good, but in ranked, she actually has a very low win rate with a very high play rate as well as scene rate. Also a very impressive average KDA. Funny enough, Black Widow is actually better than Cloak and Dagger and Jeff the Landshark, so I'm not sure what is going on, but she has a 50.6% win rate, with Moon Knight coming after her, 51.8% win rate, probably in like the D tier-ish. Like everyone below Moon Knight is probably F tier, just according to the data, not according to my opinion, but this is what the data says. So apparently Cloak and Dagger needs some buffs. With Squirrel Girl coming right after Moon Knight at a 52.4% win rate, so she's probably still D tier. Punisher is here with a 52.7% win rate, D tier-ish. Like I said, it's based on data. This is getting a little crazy. Luna Snow coming in at a 53% win rate and a 6.25 average KDA. But we did know the rank 1 player was a Luna Snow main, and she's very popular in high elo. So this is a very interesting statistic. According to this tier list, she's actually C tier. Winter Soldier is 53.2% win rate. So C tier Winter Soldier apparently. After that is Scarlet Witch with a 53.2% win rate. Venom comes right after her with a 53.4% win rate, so C plus tier. Spider-Man at a 54% win rate. But a lot of players, if you're not like Necros or something, thinks he's really bad. So this is a very interesting statistic for Spider-Man. And then Groot is coming at 54% and finally passing the 54% threshold. So he's going to be a B tier tank. Crazy enough, F tier champion known by many players is actually a 54.7% win rate. And finally, we're seeing the OP tanks coming at a 55% win rate, such as Doctor Strange. But according to data, he is still B tier because we're not even at the A tier list. After Doctor Strange is Magneto, 55% win rate. And then it's going to be Star-Lord at 55.3% win rate, with Iron Man coming in at 55.5% win rate. Now we're going to be entering the A tier list, and there's so much of them, holy crap, as well as S plus tier. Here we have high B tier, Hawkeye at 55.6% win rate. Captain America is coming out at 55.7% win rate. After him is Psylocke at 55.8% win rate. Storm is here at 56% win rate with a very low scene rate, 2%, and a 0.3% play rate with a 7.11 KDA. Maybe the Storm mains are actually really good when they play ranked. I don't know, but this is a very high win rate for her for the Storm main. So like, I guess she's A tier. And then after Storm is going to be Rocket Raccoon. I think it's due to his revive, his armor packs not bugging out anymore. His hitbox is insanely small, and his healing orbs do heal a lot and spammable. Black Panther coming in at a monster win rate, 57.1%. Namor coming in at 57.2% win rate. Bruce Banner coming in at 57.3% win rate. Thor, the highest DPS tank, is coming in right after Bruce Banner, 57.5% win rate. Loki apparently op tier, 57.5% win rate, A tier. And Iron Fist coming in at 57.6% win rate. I do believe he's a noob stomper, but maybe there's a place for him somewhere in high elo. Penny Parker coming in right after Iron Fist, 58.4% win rate. Maybe it's because she's one of the only tanks who can heal herself. And finally, we are hitting S tier. Adam Warlock, 58.8% win rate, probably because of his DPS, a lot of insane healing and super revives. He also has an animation cancel where he can shoot 2 lasers at once. No surprise here, Mantis is coming in at 58.9% win rate. Magic is insanely broken, coming in at 59% win rate with a decent scene rate. And of course, who do you think is going to be at top? That's right, it's going to be Hela. So there you have it. This whole thing is based off data. It's not about opinion, it's only about who has the highest win rates above across every elo. So if you are in bronze, silver, gold, maybe even platinum, diamond, these are your best champions to play. It's not really my opinion. I did have my opinion about some of the things that these champions were placed in, but this is all basically off Marvel Rivals in client data. But anyways, thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.